to really get to this place where I am in life, just no fear, like take chances, life is too short. I saw it as a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's something that's always very personal about me. And then I'm now married, so I have a husband. His name is Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. Ryan and I went to high school together, actually, but we were not friends in high school. And so when I say we met, it was really in our mid to late 20s where we really saw each other and actually had a conversation besides just passing in the hallway.
Sure.
As teenagers. So it was kind of cool that Ryan's been in my history, but we never really had a connection until later in life. And so we got married when we were both 29. We both joke because we thought that we were going to be like the last of our friends to get married if we ever got married. And then we found each other. So I have Ryan, my husband, and then I've had my cat Jersey for 10 years. She'll be 10 in May. She is my soulmate. I am truly the crazy cat lady that talks to my cat, and I hug her with all of my energy every time I get home. She's my one and only. Ryan always says that it's the cat first, him second, and I'm not going to argue with that. She's been with me longer than him.
Yeah.
And then we just recently, within the last 4 months, we adopted a dog. Her name is Abby Lou.
Oh, that's cute.
And she's a 100-pound black lab mix.
Wow.
And she will be 9 in May. So we adopted an older gal.
Nice.
But it's been a very interesting dynamic in our household because the cat and the dog will fight with one another. And just in the last 2 weeks, we had a breakthrough where they will both lay quietly, comfortably in the same room together. So I kind of feel like even though I don't have actual children, having these two fur babies has opened my eyes to what it would be like having a mom where one's kicking and screaming, the other one's running upstairs, you can't find them, you're trying to...
Yeah.
It's been chaos.
Yeah,
So.
I don't think it matters if it's a fur baby or a child. It's just one of them you can leave for a little while unsupervised, maybe. Maybe. If they don't have separation anxiety. But the other one you kind of have to take with you.
So, and then, well, the last thing I'll say to all this about myself that I think that people maybe find interesting or not is I am spiritual, and I do try to walk the walk and talk the talk in terms of like the classes that I teach. But I do have fun, and so I go out and I'll have a couple too many drinks sometimes and get on the dance floor. I love traveling. I love the insider's point of view when I travel. And oftentimes when I travel, I actually don't do any yoga.
Wow.
Because it's just for me to hit a reset button and just be human. And I fall in love with it again when I come back to my practice and back to my teaching. So people, I think, are always shocked when they're like, so did you do yoga? I'm like, no. I laid on a beach drinking rum and cokes. Like,
I was on vacation.
Yes. So I do take real actual vacations where I'm not being a healthy person, and
Yeah.
there's life balance. We all need it. So.
Exactly. Absolutely. So most of the people who follow me are women. Can you give my listeners, facts about how, doing yoga, dance, and bar work can really benefit them beyond just physically? I feel like a lot of people are like, we talked about this earlier today. Some people feel intimidated when they come into a class because they might be walking in and there might be people who have been doing this for years. Mm-hmm. And so, it's that same old rule of you can't measure somebody else's success with the same, with the same ruler. You all have your own timeline of when you're going to do it. But I feel like if you could just even speak into the stuff that happens beyond physically that you've seen.
Yeah, so obviously there's a physical realm to it because you have to even use your legs to walk into the studio to come into class, and then you're following a movement led by an instructor. So there is a physicality to a lot of these practices, but especially with the teachings of yoga, and we try to bring it in. I try to bring it in when I'm teaching bar classes, and I know Amanda, our dance instructor, does too, is to take your focus from an external an external to being internal. And so breath is a really important thing where you might not realize it during your day because you're not thinking about yourself breathing, you just normally do it. But to then bring focus and a light and attention on your breath, you can take the breath that's often trapped in your upper throat and chest area, and you can send it down more into your diaphragm and rib cage, so you're breathing more fully. And so when we do that, our nervous system actually regulates itself to go, you've heard of fight and flight?
Yep.
So a lot of us are in that fight mode, a lot of different situations throughout the day. And so you are bringing your nervous system down into that calm, relaxed place where you're not in fight or flight. You just are. You're moving into a place in yoga we call a sense of just being. So pranayama, breath work as we call it, is a really, really great tool. And what that then, breathing into spaces, so when someone tells you to breathe into your body, breathe into your feet, breathe in, it's almost like this kind of magic thing that happens that you can actually bring more breath into the fullness of your body and into those spaces to produce a sense of relaxation, healing, release. And then it can go as deeper into just your own psyche of learning to forgive yourself, like just relax into this moment. Maybe you're upset about what somebody did to you and you're carrying that with you, forgiving them for the situation. We're all human. So it allows you space and time to really, from a physical to the energetics, to just open up a little bit. Yeah. So that's where people start to see transformation in yoga. And then after, like, wow, I feel good. It allows people to not be reactive, but a little more proactive then. So that's where people usually start making better choices for themselves. They start accepting themselves and where they are today. Like, my body's beautiful. Like, why am I so caught up on the way my thighs look? Yeah. And it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. One of my favorite teachers, his name is Jason Crandell, always says that if you're really serious about yoga, you're not just signing up for a few classes, you're signing up for years of work. Yeah. And so that work, unfortunately, for those of us who avoid physical things, it is physical, it is mental, it is spiritual. And so we're exercising all of that, but it's really the breath that I was saying is the key component to allowing people to calm their nervous system and just ground themselves into the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's, I'm finding my voice to communicate it better and better because people ask me those questions all the time, like, so, why is yoga? Why is everyone talking about yoga? What's so special about it? But you really have to throw caution to the wind and just go into a class and try it. Yeah. And then realizing that a class can be really helpful for you to pick up a couple different alignment tools, but you don't have to go to classes. People can take this stuff and they can create their own practice at home. Mm-hmm. You can do bar classes at home, can do yoga, can even dance like nobody's watching in your living room. That works too.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
So
perfect. So do you have any special events or promotions going on that we should know about, in the next coming few weeks here?
So the studio always has a new person promotion where you can, if your focus is just into wanting to learn more about yoga, you can do 2 weeks of yoga for $20. If you are interested in maybe trying a dance class, we have both traditional dance where it's like jazz. I was going to say tap. We don't do tap in the studio. But of that realm, jazz, lyrical, contemporary, kind of like the show So You Think You Can Dance. Yeah. Adults can learn that. We just got to break it down step by step. So there's that class. We have belly dance classes. And then we have a bunch of different styles of yoga, yoga and bar. So people might want to mix and match. So we also have a special that's 3 classes for $27. And you can go to any 3 classes in 30 days. So it's not spending a ton of money up front for something that you might not enjoy. It might not be for you. Sure. So those are promotions that we always have.
Okay. Perfect.
And the next couple weeks, goodness, we just had a bunch of things happen. But in the month of March, we do take the yoga practice out of the studio, especially for people who are intimidated walking in. Mm-hmm. We always do yoga and beer at Badger State Brewery once a month. So that will be coming up in March. But we're finishing a lot of our winter programming. So March is kind of a transitional month.
Sure, sure. But that's great that you have those year-round promotions that are always going on.
Oh, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and sometimes depending upon, like we do a 30-day challenge in the studio every year, there's ways that people can win classes. And last year for the Bellins Women's Marathon, they just happened to have a little special coupon code to come do a free class in their race packet bag. So there's always little things that I try to give back to the community where people might get a couple free classes or two. But I try to keep the promotions very affordable so anybody can come in and try.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. You guys, I'm so happy that I was able to I was up in the wee hours of the morning.
You were. I'm very impressed. You have an amazing work ethic. You do.
Thank you. And so I was able to I'm putting together this video, these pictures from all the 3 different genres she offers as far as yoga, bar, and dance. Mm-hmm. So that way you guys can actually see these real life classes. Like, these aren't paid anybody's, like, they're normal people coming to their classes and have agreed to let us film them and photograph them as well. So I'm very grateful and thankful that they were allowing us to do that. So I want to give you guys an opportunity to reach out to Jen if you would like to. So can you just tell everybody where they can find you as far as on social media? And then be nice, because like she said, it's something that she's trying to get better at. So maybe you could just call her or text her number so that way she doesn't miss you when you're looking for more information. Okay, millennials, that includes myself.
You guys are gonna laugh, but my phone for Jen Star used to be my cell phone for a long time.
Yeah.
And then when I opened the studio, I switched phones, and because I never have to dial the number, I'm like, crap, I have to go grab the phone to look it up to see what the number is for the studio. So I'm the business owner that doesn't even know my own business phone number. A really great way, if you'd like to get in touch with me, is sending me an email. And if it's a general question around the studio, you can email hello@jenstaryoga.com, JENSTAR yoga.com. So hello@jenstaryoga.com, someone's going to answer you. It will either be my assistant or myself. And if you want to get in touch with me directly, my email is Jen, JEN, @jenstaryoga.com. So feel free to reach out, especially if you listen to this podcast and you have any questions or comments. Or I love hearing people's stories, so maybe you have a story you want to share too. But then we are on social media. So on Instagram, we are Jenstar_movement_studio on Instagram. And then I now know how to work the direct message button. Mary has showed me. So if you do send a message, it might take a few days, but I do check it now. And then we are on Facebook, facebook.com/JenstarYoga. So that's a nice way to stay in contact too. If you want to connect beyond Facebook, I actually have a private Facebook group. It's not private. Anyone can find it. But it's called the Jenstar Studio Community.
Oh,
okay. And in that, kind of like our podcast today, we talk about things a little bit deeper. We talk about failures. We talk about what we're grateful for. People will post articles around a cool new technique around meditation, or ask about recipes if they're changing their diet up. So it's a community where there's probably around myself and maybe 100 other people. And if you're interested in connecting on a deeper level than just seeing the basics of what's happens at the studio, feel free to find Jenstar Studio Community on Facebook as well.
That's awesome. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap up here and get ready to come back tonight for this dancing class. I'm super pumped to see this all happening.
It's fun.
Yes.
You should join in with them.